What's happening? It's large. Red Vampitic, what's up? Like we got a few people jumping on. Turn that light down a little bit. Nicholas Jacob, what's happening? Big B just designing, pressing shirts at the moment. That's right. Get that money, man. Oh, turn the press on. Cool. Get that shit heated up. Hooked up clothing. What's up, Doroteo? RDLR Della Rosa. What's up? Matt, what's up? Buffalo in the house. Arlene, what's happening? David, Joe Gampa. You and Reyes are my inspiration. Yeah, Reyes is dope, man. Appreciate that. What you think about Humble Blessed? I'm a post on the page to get feedback too. Rap Vent. For me, brand names don't really I don't put too much thought into brand names. As you can see with all the shit that I launch, it's just pretty much I want to launch the design more so than brand names. You know what I mean? Um, it's whatever you wanted to name your brand is cool. The designs that follow is something that I really pay attention to. Killer Cam, what's up? Heart and Hustle, what's happening? Jason Ends, Cali Kid, what's up? This rainy night, yeah, man. That rain was crazy today out here in Los Angeles. It's nothing like how Chicago is. Chicago is freezing over, but today in Los Angeles, man, it was dumping rain like crazy, lightning storms, all that shit. We really don't get that kind of action, so it's pretty wild. John Alzate, yeah, thanks for everything you've been doing for us. Yeah, not a problem, man. That's what this shit's all about. Alexis Williams, what's up? Amazon just dropped off my Cameo 3. HPN just delivered my Caesar Easy Wheat transfer paper, bro. Starting to print this weekend. Very dope, Nicholas Jacob. That's an exciting time. I know what it's like waiting right there for all the packages to come in. Speaking of packages, my last box, oh shit, of shirts. They broke my shipment up again. So this is all style. Haven't even opened it up yet, but they broke. I don't know why they break my packages up, my shirt boxes or my shirt orders. Um, they break them up in like three different shipments for some reason. So this is the last of it. Um, just got. Let me see. Eddie's Club, what's up? One Nation, what's happening? Mauricio, what's happening? Legacy, what's up, bro? Al Mallory, what's happening? Shout out to Big Brando, taught me everything I need to know about starting my own clothing line just by watching your YouTube videos. Rose Apparel, very dope. That's what this channel was created for. Pretty much to give everybody a little not a head start but a jump start on getting going. Jose Menez, what up, bro? My heat press works, but I have to set it to 320 to get 305. Some parts heat up higher and lower than others. Advice? Only advice for that is get you one of these. This right here is going to tell you the exact reading temperature wise, so you don't have to go off of that. Um, that's just how some heat presses are. You know what I mean? It sometimes it'll heat all the way up and then it has to come down and heat also, so it might read 380 but it's really at like 400 or something like that, and then it just needs time to settle, get cooled down, and then come to the exact heat that you need it to. When you do the shit and like let's say some parts are hotter than the other parts, that's because See, I don't have an example right here, but that's because the heating plant, the coil that heats the shit up, snakes down like a snake, right? So not everything is going to be hot at the same exact time. That's why some of the presses like Hottronics and HPNs and shit like that have different heating elements to kind of cover the whole platen instead of snaking around. You might want to think about getting a new press, or if you found a workaround like heating it up to X amount of numbers to get a certain degree, keep at that until you have enough money to get you a new press. You know what I mean? Just more of a saying. Oh, I see what you're saying, Ravent. I see exactly what you're saying. So smashing the words together, humble and blessed, using the BLE at the end of humble for the BLE to blessed. I get what you're saying. LS Cannon, what's up? Have you sublimated for? Yeah, I used to sublimate a long time ago, like 10 years ago. Hate when they break up the shipments. Yeah, it kind of messed me up because this right here, I'm guessing, is 3 dozen small, I think, in this box, because that's what I haven't received yet. So I'm hoping that's what's in there, unless they break it into like a 4th one and I get another box tomorrow, which would be dumb. Just wondering why you press at a higher temperature than is required for Easy Weed vinyl. That's just what works for myself. That's what works for my setup. That's what works for my wash tests and stuff like that. It's not recommended for everybody. I always I recommend pressing or testing out your own setup and getting your own settings right. Don't go off of what I do or what other people do. All presses are different. So that's the reason why I press at different temperatures, different durations, because this is what works for me. Some stuff I press a lot cooler than what's recommended. Some stuff I press a little bit hotter or a little bit longer. It's just trial and error. So I talk about this all the time. So say like this transfer right here, right? I would cut this transfer up into small little pieces of ink, and then press it at different temperatures, different durations, stuff like that. Then I would wash that shirt, then find out what sticks, what doesn't stick, what's peeling up, what's messing up, what's cracking. That way I could find the perfect setting for that transfer. That's my way of testing this shit out. I've been doing vinyl myself 5 years now. Need something faster to fill orders. What do you suggest? I suggest Plastisol transfers. Screen printed transfers would help you get going so you don't have to weed out all the orders. Where would you say most of your business comes from, online or face-to-face? With this new brand that we just started for Patreon, I would say it's a half and half, because I'm out physically promoting the shit to the target audience. But my other brands, mostly online. Depends on how active you are online. Here's my phone. So let me show you. For the new brands page, I was just sitting on the couch 30 minutes ago commenting with people. I don't know if you could see that shit. So anyways, I'm sitting on the couch and 10, 15 minutes engaging with people. Boom, boom, boom. And then I just put it away. So I maybe in that little time frame maybe contacted 20 to 22 people of just commenting random stuff on their pages. Put my phone away, came down here to press. I'm heating up the press now. Like I said, I just got this package in the t-shirts. I also got some mail. Went to the P.O. box and got some mail. These are some transfers from Top Transfers. Somebody sent me something from Savvy Customs. If you're in here, Savvy Customs, that's going to get opened. Somebody else sent me something from Things You Ordered. So I'm gonna open that stuff up right now on this live session also. But going back to online versus face to face and shit like that. Online, easy as fuck as long as you're active online. If you're constantly at it, and I'm not saying stay on your phone for like 7 hours out of the day. I'm just saying, like I just did right now, engage with a few people, put my phone away, do some other things, and then get back into it. Nobody responded to what I just did, so I'll just wait for them to get back at me. If not, then I'll start engaging with some other people, and so on and so on and so on. That's how I do things. You don't have to do it that way. That's just what works for me. The amount of time that I spend doing the shit is probably maybe a total of maybe 2 hours out of the day, maybe sometimes a little bit more. But with me working, and any free chance I get on my phone, then I kind of just engage with, you know, I try to shoot for over 20 people. It sounds like a lot, but when you click on like a hashtag, let me just show you. So what I do is I just do popular hashtags. So we'll just do churros. Fuck, it's not even gonna be able to. I don't know why that shit don't pick it up. So churros currently has churros. So all I do is I go to recent. When you do it, I go to recent, and then I just start clicking on pictures like this dude right here. Click on that picture. That's Hugo from Mexico. And I probably wouldn't say nothing to him because everything's in Spanish and the language barrier would be fucked up. So here's a chick. It looks like she's somewhere with a bunch of rainbows. And then I would just, can you see that? She's eating churros. So that's why she hashtag churros. Obviously she likes the shit, right? Get up in there and I'll just put something like, how were the churros? How were the churros? I don't know if you can see that. There it goes. It's me. How are the churros? And then I go to the next picture. Next picture, find another one. You could kind of see which ones are brand pages and which one are, you know, actually somebody's like personal picture that they're posting. And you just go through like, here's some chicks right here from East LA. And it says the Queen of Churros. So obviously she's making churros. So this would be a cool one for me to comment on. Boom. So she makes churros and she sells them at parties. And I would just ask a question. That's all I'm doing is asking questions and wait for people to respond. All I want them to do is come and see my products. I want them to click on my page and be like, who the fuck is coming on my page? And they look at my products. And then from there, it's up to them if they like it, if they want to do anything, if they want to click on the link or whatever it is. You contact over 20 people while you're sitting down, taking a shit, or whatever you're doing. That's all it takes. The easiest way to do this is going through the popular hashtags of whatever you're selling. And that's all I'm doing to run this brand. When I'm out, like at Disneyland, or if I'm at a churro place or whatever it is, and obviously I'm wearing a shirt, then it's more face to face. Oh, let me show you another thing. I just ordered stickers. Well, not just, I'm waiting for them to come in now, or I'm actually going to go pick them up. There's the sticker that I just got. It's a 4x4 die cut sticker. So I'm using those as a business card instead of getting actual business cards made. It'll just be easier to throw in packages, and then also use that, keep a few of them in my pocket when I'm out. People ask about my shirt, then I just give them the fucking stickers, right? So when I'm out, that's what I do. Right now, all I'm telling people to do is go to the Instagram or give them the link. And then that's how I'm currently running this brand right now. Excuse me. The other brands that I run, strictly online, doing the same exact Instagram shit. That's all it is. Say if I was selling something to people that live in Hawaii, the brand was the brand was geared towards people that live in Hawaii, I would use popular Hawaii hashtags, like We Live Hawaii, 808 Life, shit like that. And this will get me into people that live in Hawaii that are posting about Hawaii and shit like that. This takes me to the actual audience that I want to get into or sell to, you know what I mean? Easiest fucking way of doing things. Let me see. All right, here we go. Is learning curve difficult for the Cameo 3? Just design and also have DK20S. Learning curve isn't, it's easy because of YouTube. You could find people, there's a ton of people that post Cameo videos on how to do shit, what different tools do. So that makes it easy just for learning. Learned a lot on your YouTube videos. Filed my DBA with LegalZoom. Very dope. Eddie Ruano. You are an inspiration, big brother. Trans Alley. Not a problem. Thank you. And this channel is made to help people like you, like myself, learn a little bit more and just get started. Learning the cutting settings for the proper vinyl. That's why I kind of keep the vinyl that I use to a bare minimum. Caesar Thermoflex, pretty much the same fit and feel. And then I use the regular decal vinyl, the cheap stuff. I think it's some of the white shit that I have is Oracle. Some of the other stuff is made by Avery. That's what I use. It's made for the basic settings in the Cameo software. The heat transfer smooth, and then the other one is just the regular decal shit. Larry Thomas, Big B question. Do the transfers that you use most often have adhesive added by the printer or not? If so, are you able to tell the difference in the hand feel? These transfers right here, they all got cut from the same sheet. They're from the same transfer company. The adhesive is in there, but it's not activated until you put the heat on there. So once you press the heat on, that's when it sticks on. Can you feel the hand feel on these ones? No, it's not an opaque print. Here's a shirt right here. Let me try to get it. You're not going to be able to see it, but the print isn't opaque. Like, it's not an opaque print would be where you can't see the actual t-shirt underneath. Let me see if I get a close-up of what I'm talking about. Being that this is a white on black, the contrast is going to be hard, but you could really tell on different color shirts or in person, you could tell that it's not an opaque print. Like it's the cool thing about it though is it's soft as fuck. The hand feels like there's nothing there. You know what I mean? That's the actual good part about it, is the print is not opaque, but it's just soft as fuck. You can't feel that it's there, which is cool. But if you do different formulas, right? So every transfer company has a different formula. Every transfer company has a different hand feel. What I go for when I'm ordering transfers and shit is a really soft hand feel. And if I'm going for an opaque design, if I want something to be, solid and where you can't see through it, I'll go to certain companies. If I'm going for like multicolor, or sometimes I just want like huge ass sheets because I'm going to put a lot of designs on there and I want to cut my costs down, then I order by that. Then I just order for whoever has the biggest sheet that I could put the most shit on. It just all depends, but that's something that I really look for when I'm ordering transfers, is a really, really soft hand feel. Let me see. Brando, you got good info. I'm just starting up. RTK, respect the culture. Cool, man. Casey, appreciate it, man. Got a lot going on for this summer. Tanks, ringers, gym apparel. Very dope. Is it valuable to test everything? Fuck yeah, it is. I highly recommend testing out everything because you want to know what you're going to offer to your customer. It would be dumb if I sent this transfer out, pressed it on a shirt without testing it, send it to the customer, they wash it, and then the shit fucks up. You have to know what the customer's gonna get on the other end. Just because it lays down after you press it doesn't mean it's gonna hold up. You know what I mean? There could be a lot of shit that could go wrong. There could be moisture in the shirt that you didn't pre-press out of it, and then it fucks things up. It could be a lot of different things. So testing out stuff, highly, highly recommend. Let me see. When you ship items, do you send priority or what is your method? Yeah, I only ship USPS priority, Legacy. I ship to all 50 states only, and I just use priority. If it's going from here to New York, I just sent some shirts yesterday. A few of the package, I think we're going to Florida or New York or something like that, and it said 2 days. But with the weather and shit like that, I don't know if it'll delay anything, but usually priority from here to the East Coast is 2 days, sometimes 3, most of the time 2. Anywhere else within the country, like anywhere on the West Coast, it usually takes a day or 2. So it's kind of cool. So I only use priority. I don't use first class, or I don't use UPS or FedEx. Do you use Illustrator or Photoshop for all your artwork? I use both. It just depends what I'm doing. I'm more familiar with Photoshop than I am with Illustrator because that's what I learned on was Photoshop. So I do a lot of shit in Photoshop. I do a lot of stuff in Illustrator too. I use both. If you print hotter than the actual directions and it peels a little after you wash it, is it because it was too hot or too cold? It could be your pressure. Could be not even the heat, but it could be the actual pressure that you're using. Maybe you weren't using enough pressure. Maybe you had moisture in your shirts. Maybe you need to press for a little longer. Could be a mixture of a lot of things. Lunatic. Rob Gray, when you're testing a shirt, how long do you wait to wash it? I wash it right after I test it out. So I press it, throw it in the wash. And then I don't have none of my test shirts here. Usually I toss them out because, say if this was a test shirt, I would have cut this transfer up in like 10, 12 pieces. And then I would just press a little bit here. So like this 2 letters would be pressed here. The next 2 letters will be pressed down here. The next 2 letters will be pressed down here. And then it'll be at different temperatures. Every piece that I'm pressing on will be at different temperatures, different durations, just so I could get the exact heating. So if the recommended setting was like 370, so I would do one here, 370 at the actual recommended directions. So this will be 370. I'll probably do this one at 372, this one at 374, and so on and so on and so on. And then maybe on the flip side, I would start at like 368, then 366, then 365. You know what I mean? I just go cooler on one side, hotter on the other side. This side would all be at heavy pressure. This side would be all at a lighter pressure. Same thing on this side, heavy, lighter. Back on the other side, it would be for different durations. So that way I know it helps when you do it on a white t-shirt and you could take a Sharpie and you could write down your settings next to the transfer that you pressed on, and then I wash it. And then my wife has, let's say maybe one of my kids are gonna do a load of clothes, I'll throw it in with that load. They'll wash it, dry it. When it comes out, say if my wife is gonna do a load, then I throw it in with that shit. And then say my wife is going to do a load of fucking towels, I'll throw it in with that shit. I just keep washing it to see what the shit looks like and how it's holding up. That's my testing out process. Let me see. What's up, Brando? Just wondering what type of vinyl do you use for 100% polyester? I rarely press on 100% polyester. Most of the shit that I do, t-shirt wise, is 100% cotton. And then if I do like a heather color, then there is a little bit of polyester, but it's just more so cotton. But I use the same shit, Thermoflex and Caesar. Brandon, I like your opinion for beginning small business. I've been looking to buy my first heat press, size 15 by 15. I'm between the Craft Pro and Signature series. Which would you recommend? Craft Pro. It's cheaper. It does basically the same exact thing. The only differences that I know of is production standpoint. If you're doing 200 shirts back to back, obviously the signature series is going to be it. Craft Pro, if you're going to be doing maybe like, a few shirts here and there, but I'm talking about 200, like you set the press up and you're just going to sit there and then bang out 200 shirts nonstop. That's where the signature series would hold up better than the Craft Pro. But the Craft Pro has the slide out drawer, which is a really good feature, so you're not burning your knuckles up, and it heats up pretty quick. So I would recommend that for if you're comparing the two, you know what I mean? Because you could always upgrade later. Say if your business starts booming and you're like, oh fuck, like I need something more than the Craft Pro, meaning, you need something that's gonna hold up for long periods of time and shit like that, then you could always upgrade. But say if you got the Signature series and your business didn't do as good as you thought it was, and maybe you're like, oh fuck that, I don't even want to heat press no more, I'd rather just get shit DTG'd or screen printed or whatever it is, then you're gonna have to sell it, right? So the barrier of entry is a lot cheaper to go with the Craft Pro than the Signature series. I bought the Signature series years ago, and it still holds up. I mean, perfect for myself. Haven't had any issues. Haven't had an issue where I needed to upgrade or it went down or it failed me or anything like that. Hooked Up Clothing said, I've been using your Instagram marketing model and I've gotten business by doing so. Very dope. I mean, it works for me, so obviously it's gonna work for you. You know what I mean? You when doing so, all you're doing is just targeting the market that you want to be in. That's all it is. You're handpicking your customers. That's what it comes down to. So imagine, it's like cold calling. It's like when people like telemarketers were very popular early 2000s, late 90s. It's a very popular thing to sell magazine subscriptions and shit like that. They're going off of a list of people, consumers that have bought something similar. So that's why they were cold calling and selling you through the telephone, through telemarketing. Same exact process, but you're just doing it over social media now. But customers make it easy because they're hashtagging what they're posting about. So now you're just finding them because of a hashtag. It's fishing with dynamite. That's what it is. Boosin said Google Translate. Yeah, man, Google Translate. But sometimes it translates to a very proper way of saying something where it comes off kind of corny. So I would hate to do that if I was trying to engage with somebody. Do you know where to get blank football jerseys and what kind of material is best to press on them? Football jerseys, I'm not 100% sure, but I know there's a lot of different companies that make them. And most of the time they're polyester. So you have to buy the correct heat transfer vinyl or transfers or whatever it is for the material that you're pressing on. Where to buy them, I have no idea. I haven't bought football jerseys in a very long time. Best bet would check like a third-party supplier or something, like a company that sells a bunch of different blank apparel brands, and then find somebody that makes jerseys. Do I got churros? Yeah, I got churros, man. Brando, good question. Pedro. Yeah, I don't know anybody that sells football jerseys. But most football jerseys or jerseys in general are polyester. So you would have to buy the correct whatever heat transfer vinyl or transfers, whatever you're using for polyester. Or basically you buy for the material that you're pressing on. Pauly C, what up, brother? Shit, I don't think anybody here sells churros anymore. Pauly C, yeah, nobody on the island really sells churros. Maybe fucking Costco or Sam's Club, but I think that's it. Let me see. Natural Born Tactics, that's right. Do you send them to your Insta, then your store, or do you send them to the product directly? It depends. If I'm out in public and I'm talking to people, it's easier for me to say, hey, you got Instagram? Just check out my Instagram. If they don't have Instagram, then I send them to the site directly. So I have a domain already set in place for this brand. I just send them straight to there and say, all right, check it out. But if they have Instagram, it's a lot easier and a lot less invasive of just saying, you got Instagram? Check out the name, blah, blah, blah. I don't tell them to follow me, nothing like that. I just tell them to check it out because all the information's there on the Instagram. Let me see. What type of screen printing ink can you use on plastic bags? I need help, please. Emerge phone, I have no idea. I've never screen printed on a plastic bag before. This would be a good question for Jason Enns, but I have no idea for plastic bags. My shop went live today on Big Cartel. No EIN needed. Hopefully it'll grow though. Yeah, very dope, man. Distant. You don't need the EIN to set up a online store. You just use your social security number. But as the site grows, it would be in your best interest to register or obtain a EIN and then use that, because I don't know if you're I don't know your situation, but for myself, I don't like giving out my social security number to anybody. You know what I mean? Because it's powerful in the wrong hands. So that's why I usually don't do that. What do you think about the Cricut? And is the material durable on shirts? The Cricut is a vinyl cutter. The shit that goes on the shirt is heat transfer vinyl. You can use any brand of heat transfer vinyl. That's what's gonna live on the shirt. The Cricut is just cutting the heat transfer vinyl. I know nothing about the Cricut because I've never owned one or used one. All I have is the Cameo, and I could talk about that. Those two are similar, I guess. They're not the same, but they're very similar in price. They're very similar entry level cutters, and the Cameo's dope. It hasn't failed me at all. Does it make a difference when pressing with the heat press pillow in shirts versus shirt on the platen? The only time that I use those pillows or mouse pads or anything is when I want to raise it up off the seams, meaning like the seams here or the seam underneath the shirt right here. So if I was doing the sleeve hit here, the seam down here would fuck up, like it wouldn't let me press smooth. So I would put a mouse pad in there or a Teflon pillow just to raise it up over the seam and get the press in. That's the only time I would use it. Rest of the time it's just laying flat on the platen. Where'd you get those transfers? They sound nice. The transfers I got could be found on patreon.com/bigbrando. That's where I'm doing everything about this brand. This whole brand was made strictly for Patreon, to show the people on Patreon step by step what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and why I'm doing it. From marketing to product placement to just getting the transfers, who I'm ordering through, why I'm ordering that way, the prices I'm paying, everything. Shirts, transfers, shipping supplies, all that shit could be found on Patreon. Where do you suggest to get the best holographic HTV? I have no idea. I've never used holographic HTV or had a need to use that, so I never looked into it. You go through any new heat transfer companies. I got your last list. Anything has changed? Nothing has changed. Everything is still the same from the list, with the exception of Jason Enns. Jason Enns is from our community, but when I made the list, he wasn't making transfers yet. Then he dialed in his formula, and then he released his transfers. And that would be the only one that I would add to the list. But since he's here every day in our live sessions, it makes it very, very accessible to reach out to him, which is dope as fuck. But I use all the same companies still. Haven't had the need to look into new transfer companies, but this company, I'm about to open this package up in a little bit, from Top Transfers, sent this out. They make transfers. They reached out to me and said, hey, we make transfers. Can you check out our shit? I said, send me some samples, and they did. So I'll check that out. Jiu-Jitsu for Life. Thanks for all the good info. When or where can I send you some teas so you can check out and critique? Let me know. If you look at any boxing session video that I've done, the address where to send is in the description. East Los. I just canceled my wholesale license, meaning I will not be filing sales and use tax. Can I still promote on Instagram? Yeah, you can still promote on Instagram. The only thing that you have to... The wholesale license is to buy wholesale goods. So you're buying wholesale goods and not paying a sales tax on it at a wholesale rate. And then you pay the sales tax back after. If you have somewhere else to source your shirts, or you have no need to buy wholesale goods, then if you don't need it, you could cancel it. You can still operate your business. First class is like $1.50. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's like around $2 or something like that. I don't ship nothing first class because I've always had not a bad experience, but it might say it'll take 2 days, and then first class usually gets last priority. You know what I mean? So if the truck's full, the first class shit doesn't make it till the next truck leaves. So it just delays the shipping. I like the ship to get to the customer as fast as possible, as cheap as possible. So $5, $6 priority, and I know it's gonna get there in a day or two, works better for me. I remember first watching your vids, asking about pressing shirts, bought my cameo on vinyl, and used your business scheme. Game changer. Vin, I appreciate that, man. Very dope. Heat samples, Def will keep that on mind. Yeah, for sure, man. Edwin Soto, what up? Edwin Soto, shoot the question. Much love, Brando from Los Angeles. Learn how to press, watching all guys' videos, how-tos. Hand brand. Hard as a motherfucker. That's right, Edgar. Very dope, man. Everyone remember to hit the like button. George Gampo, I appreciate that. Have you ever or do you have a hat press? I do have a hat press. And I just use it for pressing neck labels in. And then sometimes I'll do like trucker hats and shit for custom shirts. Are you able to press a hoodie in the Craft Pro that you have? Appreciate. Yes, you can. You can press anything. The Craft Pro will press anything my other press will press. The only difference is it's smaller. It's I think that one's 9x13, so I'm only limited to 13 inches by 9. But depending on the size of the design on your hoodie, if it's under 9x13, then obviously it's gonna work. Like this is a good example. So I said 13 inches, right? So 13 inches across is right here. That's pretty much armpit to armpit on a t-shirt, right? No design is ever really that big, armpit to armpit. It's always within a little bit smaller than that. So people always have a misconception of if the shirt's bigger, you have to make the design bigger. But this is an extra large t-shirt. 13 inches is right here. That's a really wide ass design. So if my arms are hanging down, see where it wrinkles up at? You don't want your design to wrinkle into that. So that's why usually anything under 12 inches works. So that's why the cameo works, because the cameo cuts 12 inches wide. Rarely do I ever go outside of 13 inches across. 12 inches across. So the 9x13 Craft Pro works perfect if your designs aren't going to be bigger than 9 inches here. 15x15, I never design outside of that. So if you wanted to do hoodies on the 9x13, if your design fits 9 inches, there's no need to get a bigger press. You know what I mean? By your ebook, I ordered heat transfers SMG, and I recently bought HPM 15x15 drawer. I've tried various temperatures, pressures, however, cracking, peeling at first. Got second order. Wait, let me see. Bought your ebook. I ordered heat transfers from SMG, and I have an HPM 15x15. I've tried various temperatures, pressure, however, cracking, peeling at first. Got second order the same. So all you have to do when you're doing this, obviously you're testing out what you're doing, right? Before you ordered, you could have always got a sample packet from them. They send out samples. Any transfer company will send you samples before you order, meaning it will just be random designs and logos, and you test out their formula to see if it works for you, right? So if you're experiencing cracking and peeling and shit like that, it's in your settings. You take the recommended settings and you just either work down or work up in heat. Same thing goes for pressure. Same thing goes for a lot of different things. There was somebody in the Facebook group that was experiencing the same thing. I forgot what her solution was, but she ended up figuring it out. But working through it of figuring out what your best settings for it to apply to. The way to not waste a shitload of transfers is cutting it up. So this is a transfer. Just cut the shit up into a bunch of little pieces and you press it down. Keep pressing until you find out what works best for you. You know what I mean? If the first order that you went through and you weren't satisfied or happy with it, the second order, was it the same exact transfers that you just reordered, or they sent you a different batch, or how'd that work out? Straight pain, exactly what I needed. You're the man. Appreciate you. John Alzadi. Appreciate that, man. Let me see. What temperature do you set your press to if you're using Caesar Easy Weed Stretch? I don't use Caesar Easy Weed Stretch. I never use the stretch, what's it called? The stretch vinyls. I just use the regular basic shit. I do use Plastisol transfers. Best churros on Atlantic and Whittier. If you're talking about, what's that dude's name? Don. I can't think of the dude's name. Don something. If that's it, I fuck with that shit, man. Don Abel? Is it Don Abel? Can't remember the dude's name. I think he also posted up at Pioneer High School too. Big Cartel, the best startup site for selling products. Yeah, that's a fucking good spot to do it. They have a free platform. So you could do the one where you don't have to buy nothing and just start selling. That one works. Don Abel Churros. I knew it was Don something. That shit is the shit, man. Demario got a cricket. Black Warrior Queen hates the cricket. Registered to attend my first ISS show in Houston. That's dope. I'm Louie Lou. Let me see. I hate the setup. They just made it too much work to set up. I think I would like the Cameo. What's the best printable vinyl? I have no idea. I never print on vinyl. Ever use a hat press? Yes, I have used a hat press. Just got my seller's permit. I'm ready to learn whatever I need to learn. You got to remember, seller's permit and two different things. Seller permit is just saying you're going to be selling. Permit is the wholesale license. Reseller permit means you're going to buy wholesale goods and resell it to collect sales tax. So there's two different things. Seller's permit is different. There we go. I think that's it. So these are from Top Transfer. They send me a bunch of little transfers to try out. No guts, no glory. Succeed something like a boss. This one. This one. It's cool. They sent a bunch of transfers, but no instructions. So, Top Transfers. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Appreciate the transfers to test out, but I don't even, there's no instructions on how to press these. I don't know what degrees I should start out with. I don't know what yeah, so I won't be pressing these today because I don't even know what degrees or anything, so I'm gonna have to email these dudes. But appreciate the transfers. Let's get into one of these t-shirts. This shit's from Savvy Customs. Savvy Customs. If you're in here watching this, we're about to see what you made. Savvy Customs printed on some Bella canvas action. Let's see. I think there's a packing slip in here. North Carolina. If you just say what's up. This one dude, his wife is part of that Facebook group. He was in the park. He found us. I gave him a t-shirt. He then said he has a group called the the Disneyland Goonies, and he was going to shoot me some shirts that they did for my kids. So it says Chunk is my homeboy. This is screen print. And it's a picture of Chunk utilizing halftones. So that's a good example of utilizing halftones to get a photographic image on a t-shirt. Chunk is my homeboy. Let me see if you can see this up close. You can see the dots in the print. See the little dots in the hair, dots in the face. That's the halftones. And they also, but I met him through selling churro t-shirts. But this shit is dope. Appreciate it. I need to send this dude a picture. Tell him I appreciate the love for shooting my kids some shirts. Now that that's done, we're gonna start pressing some shirts now. Let me see. Signal's hella choppy. Every couple minutes you're lagging. It's probably because my kids are probably playing video games upstairs. Somebody's probably on the iPad. I'm all the way downstairs, like 3 stories down from the rest of my family. So it's a little choppy inside the garage and inside here. When you're checking the temperature for your heat press with your heat gun, do you go off of the middle of the heat plate? I do the sides, top, bottom, and the temperature usually fluctuates. The temperature fluctuates like that on mine, but I usually shoot it to wherever I'm pressing. Directly in the middle, a little bit towards the top is usually where I'm pressing, and that's the temp that I read at. So if I is a good designer. Second 3, same ink, same design, simple one coloring and peeling. So you tried out the first ones, they sent you out a new batch, and then you're still getting the same exact results. I probably wouldn't go with them anymore if you're not getting any good results. I'm going to post one design a week for 12 weeks until one pops. No excuses this year. That's dope, Paris Hearn. Very cool way to go about things. Yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is with your SMG transfers. I'm trying to think if I still have some from SMG. I don't think I have any more, but I've never had any issues with SMG whatsoever. Let me see. 20 auto open HPM press. Do you have trouble with the magnet not holding when screwed way down? Yeah. So obviously that means that you're maxing the pressure out and the magnet's not holding. So you have to back it off a little bit. So that's your pressure being fully maxed out and you can't even get it back up. You would have to back it off at least a thread or a thread and a half to get a heavy squeeze where the magnet still locks. So you probably have that shit jammed all the way down. Fluke heat gun. I don't know. I use this one. It's called Laser Grip. Where do you get your hats embroidered? I go through a local dude that just does the shit out of his garage. He used to own a shop. Then he shut the shop down. And now he just does the shit out of his garage. Which he doesn't take on any more clients. He just uses the same clients he had from the shop. Just moved to his garage. The cool shit though is he has like big accounts still. He does a lot of shit. Last time I was there, I think he was doing hats for Quicksilver, and then I think he was also doing shit for Pepsi, and I think he did some shit for a Chevy dealer over here. I think he did like all the Porter embroidery on the shirts. But he has big accounts, but it's like accounts that he's had when he had his shop, and he just kept the same people and just still has all the same machines. He used to do screen printing and embroidery. Now he just strictly does embroidery. Transfers, and it's even halfway down. And wait, let me see. I'm trying to dial in for transfers, and it's halfway down and won't hold. That, I don't know what that is. I would contact HPN and then find out what that is. Because the only time my magnet doesn't hold is when my shit's cranked all the way down. No more threads left. So I back it off to maybe a thread and a half. So then once I back it off a thread and a half, that's when I get that actual press. Where it locks down, but it's heavy enough where I feel comfortable. So if your thing's not hanging down, I'm pretty sure you're putting a lot of pressure on the handle to close it. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the issue could be. I would contact HPN and tell them what's going on so they could help you out. Paris said, I don't want to be that guy who watches 100 hours of videos and not do anything. Yeah, man, I know that feeling. Trust me. I know that feeling all too well. All right, let's see. I'm about to let's turn this around. Turn that around. There's the press. See that? Yep. Let's see. Extra large that we need to do. We need to do some larges. There's a few shirts that I gotta bang out to get out and ship out tomorrow. Large. Extra large. Oh, I need to get small too. Large. Sorry, guys. I'm getting the t-shirts ready. Large. Extra large. Large. Another large. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 larges. Extra large. Oh, and I need a small. Fuck. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Let's see. I need to open up this box. All right. Boxes of t-shirts everywhere. Bam, here's a small right here. Alright, I'm just taking off little pieces of cardboard, shrapnel that's on the fucking shirt. Pre-press shirts. I personally don't do that. So, here's to show you. This is a small shirt. I'm going to be using the same size transfer on this small as I would on an extra large. That cork board back there, that's all my settings for different heat transfer vinyls, different transfers, shit like that is up on that board. This front hit. And now we're going to do the back. I just eyeball this shit and press it. I don't do anything fancy. There's the back hit. So it was a size small. This is size large. Show you guys. All style t-shirt, size large. Top and bottom. That gives me the center of the actual transfer. So I could lay it down on the t-shirt. $377 for 8 seconds. Sorry, I can't answer any questions right now. I'm pressing shirts. It's about time. I might need to re-up on transfers. Maybe I'll order them tomorrow, get them shipped out to me for next week. I think we did a shitload already. I think I need to order another 200 or 250. There's the back hit. There's the front hit. Now the size large. It's large. This is an extra large. Do the same exact thing. I just crease the top and bottom. It's finding the center. This is my usual routine. Every day you go to work, come home, do the kid thing. I think I was telling you guys earlier or the other day, I bought a Nintendo Switch for my kid. So all my kids play when I'm coming home or when I get home from work. So after my youngest is done doing homework, play Nintendo Switch with them for a little bit. And then I come down here and do this shit and make t-shirts. Then fold all the shirts, package them up, bag them up, get them ready to ship out. That's an extra large. So same size transfer for the small, large, extra large, all that. Nothing changes. Not sure if anybody's still on. Probably turn this off in a little bit. This is a size large t-shirt. Somebody was saying that the connection was spotty earlier. Oh, look at all that steam coming up. That's the moisture leaving. So obviously, press it until there's no steam left. Appreciate everybody for watching and tuning into this shit. I've been doing a lot more live sessions at night because people wanted to see me pressing shirts and shit. So that's why I'm doing them. After this shirt, I'm about to log off. I think we did about an hour or something. Got the unboxings out the way. last one. Logging this shit off. I'll answer the rest of the questions. Oh, connection is better now. Cool. There's a large. Let's see here. Do you ever use a lint roller? I just use tape. So I just roll the tape onto itself and then I go back and forth. Usually when I'm doing hoodies and shit is when it gets really linty. All right, let me see. Diz said, really? They sent it without directions? Yeah, man, they sent no directions, no nothing inside there. There's not much I could do with them. Samuel Views, what's up? Hey, man. Oh, I think I read that one. Trying to dial in transfers and it won't lock down. That, yeah, I would hit up HPN. Connection's all good. Connection is better. Appreciate that. All right. We'll do one more before we log out of here. Just want to show you guys. So this design right here, I never promoted. The only way to see this design is if you're on the website. So the way I've been selling them is people have been buying the regular in memory shirt and then they add this one to cart also. So with no promotion, no advertising, no nothing, this shirt's been selling, which is dope. So you don't have to promote every single shirt that you do. This would be just be considered like an add-on t-shirt or a here's a shirt. So I never promoted this on social media anywhere, but for some reason we're still selling them. Selling a fucking shitload of them too. And it's dope because people are buying the regular shirt and then they just add that one to the cart. All right, y'all, I'm about to end this. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for all the info. I may take the plunge in t-shirt printing soon. Very dope. Is your press bolted to the table? No, it's not. It's just sitting on the table. There's actually a slight overhang. See right here, it's not even on fully on the table. It's a little bit longer than the actual table. So that's one of the main reasons why I hold the auto press thing down, because that shit slams up hard and it knocks tools off my shit. All right, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here. Appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in.